How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Shiva. Thank you for inviting me again to your channel. It's a pleasure.
Welcome to Team Astro. So, our channel participants, subscribers, they have been waiting for an amazing video from us.
First of all, congratulations on getting to over 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's I don't see it as a big achievement. It's a stepping stone for our long-lasting success.
Of
So,
course, yeah.
our videos really they're going well on internet. So I see a lot of comments from people that they like the content. The way we present the content is unique and it is very impressive. And moreover, it is more of useful to them that the suggestions, remedies, whatever we suggest. So basically, people actually they are putting them in practice and seeing the results.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
We did this Nakshatra remedy up from Ashwani to Mula. I think we did it in two parts. Okay, so now we have to cover from Purvashada to Revati. So Purvashada, Uttarashada, Swana, Dhanishta, Satabisha, Purvabhadra, Bhadra, Revati. So again, still eight nakshatras we have to complete this remedy analysis and remedy is eight nakshatras. Okay.
Yeah. Let's start.
So let us start with Purvashada. Okay. So Purvashada is ruled by male monkey. It is obvious that it is male monkey. If you see the exact opposite nakshatra, which is from seventh from Purvashada, is Arudra. Is ruled by uh, Arudra is ruled by female dog.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Rahu.
a female dog. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, Mula is in mutual aspect with Arudra. Mula is ruled by a dog and Arudra is ruled by female dog. And let me check. For Purvashada, what is the opposite nakshatra ruled by? That gives some insight on Matha, Aslesha. Yeah, so basically, its pair is a female monkey, which is a Savana nakshatra. So this Purvashada is the Purvashada and Shravana is a pair. So Purvashada is a male monkey and Shravana is a female monkey. So that's what I wanted to mention. So when it comes to Purvashada, is a Tamoguna nakshatra, a Brahmin nakshatra. The goal of this nakshatra is moksha, and the divine deity for Purvashada is Varun. So Varun is for waters and showers. So this nakshatra actually comes under Sagittarius sign, which is Mula Trikona sign for Jupiter. So most of the temples, pilgrimages, and saints, priests. So all these things are signified by Purvashada nakshatra. So because this is ruled by Jupiter, so Jupiter is for divine guidance and is a karaka for many important aspects of life. And this nakshatra is ruled by Venus. So this Purvashada nakshatra has a combined qualities of both Jupiter and Venus, because the nakshatra lord is Venus and the sign lord is Jupiter. Now go ahead, giving us some insights of remedies related to Purvashada.
First of all, Purvashada people, they are usually known as, it's an invincible star. So basically Purvashada people, they are very, I have seen that they do, whenever they have a goal set in their mind, they try to, fight all the way there, because Purvashada it's close to Uttarashada, and Uttarashada is a fighting star. So somehow there are a little bit of qualities of Uttarashada that's also in Purvashada.
So Poorvashada, yes, you raised one important point. Purvashada is early victory, is known for early victory.
And there's this other.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
these people actually they do involve in long battles in life, but at some point of time they give up their fight.
Hmm.
But for them to complete the battle, the
They
complete
need
the
a
mission, they need Uttarashada.
they need Uttarashada, either as life partner, as business partner, or some involvement of Uttarashada, or yeah, in their life in order to fulfill the goal. So
Yeah. So
basically, there are a few remedies for Uttarashada Nakshatra, sorry, Purvashada Nakshatra. That is, first of all, this is also for Uttarashada. That is, a person has to keep their, and this is also connected to Bharani Nakshatra. I'm just including all the nakshatra that's connected to this remedy. That is keeping their teeth cleaned. So basically, it has something to do with the Purvashada Nakshatra. It could be because it's somehow connected to the elephant, like the elephant tusk. It's connected to Purvashada Nakshatra. So, and there is this other remedy that is, keeping Ganesh Murti, or or a statue or a small showpiece of an elephant, which has, like, full tusk, not like broken or something like that. So the energy of the elephant or Ganesh, it's really important for Purvashada Nakshatra people, and it somehow helps for them to fight obstacles and things like that. And yeah, so that is it. The most important is just, keeping the teeth cleaned, to make sure there are no cavities, because it's somehow connected to the Purvashadra people. Suppose someone has a planet in the Purvashadra, planet of 10th lord is in, suppose, in Purvashadra Nakshatra. If the person takes care of their teeth, gets rid of all, because most of the people here around, they have a lot of issues with their teeth. If they somehow get rid of the issues of the teeth, what happens, like, suddenly good things are happening in their career if the 10th lord is in there. So it's similar wise, it depends on different people's chart, like how the placements are made. So that's
yeah,
how Purvashada.
another remedy strikes in my mind because this animal is male monkey. So Hanuma, Lord Hanuma. Worshipping Lord Hanuma really, helps these people lead a successful life. Get rid of obstacles in their life.
Hmm. Hmm.
This
That
male
too.
monkey. And another thing about this monkey is whenever if you look at Chinese zodiac years, the people who were born on monkey years, like 1980, 1968,
92.
1956.
Hmm.
Yeah, these people, they're extremely intelligent, smart.
Purvashada,
So
yes, they are
yeah,
intelligent, extremely
they are
intelligent.
capable of, like wherever monkey is related to either star or year, these people are multi-talented, versatile.
And another
So,
thing, Purvashadra
like,
people are, they're very strategic, they're very strategic. They're really very analytic. They like finding out loopholes in situation. It's just because the characteristics of monkey come into play. But when it comes to the remedy, that's how the element of the symbol of elephant comes into play. It could be something related to Ganesh or things like that, but the elephant comes into play basically,
mhm.
for the when it comes to the remedy of Purvashada Nakshatra. But
Yeah,
the
out of
traits.
there are three Venus nakshatras: Bharani, Purvafalguni, and Purvashada. So out of these three nakshatras, so Purvashada is a special, unique nakshatra because it falls in the space of Jupiter,
Hmm.
and which is the Mulatrikana sign of Jupiter, which is a natural ninth house from
Hmm.
Aries.
Hmm.
Because of that, so this nakshatra carries lot of divine guidance, divine power. The qualities of Jupiter really work on this nakshatra bone.
Yeah, and also Purvashada people, um, they like they like they whenever, suppose someone is just planning a vacation, Purvasha, the people love going on vacations, and they love to, like, book beautiful hotels, resorts, things like that. Those are the Purvasha, the people characteristics. It's just stuck between, like, It's just like two characteristics of two different planets, Jupiter and Venus. They're completely opposite, but the two characteristics both come into the play of Purvashada. So that's how it works, and that's how it plays out. And when it comes to Uttarashada, it's the same remedy for Purva and Uttara. The main is, and I have seen a lot of people like, actually follow this, and it actually works. Just the take care of your teeth. And if you have any statues or paintings of elephant, you have to make sure it's not like, it has to be a regal looking, royal looking elephant. It cannot be some elephant with broken teeth or tusks. It cannot be like that. It has to be something like that, because the elephant is, I'm repeating this because the elephant is so important for Purvashada and Uttarashada. So even the, like probably worshiping Ganesh, putting a Ganesh Murti in the northeast corner of a house, that also plays as a major role in the remedy of Uttara and Purvashada.
Yeah, so even though the Purvashada, Uttarashada, they seem to be a pair, but Uttarashada has a lot of hidden stuff, hidden strengths compared to Purvashada. So Purvashada is much more material side of life, whereas Uttarashada, because Uttarashada is ruled by sun, and the divine deity is universal gods. So lot of soul energy is involved in the strength of Uttarashada. So Purvashada people usually they relax because they see early victory in their life. So they get married at a very young stage. They get a career break uh, at a very very young stage, and things really work well for them in the first phase of their life itself for Purvashada. So it's an early victory. Whether they sustain or not, okay, uh, it purely depends on how Uttarashada is connected to them. Apart from that, Uttarashada, the meaning of Ashada is victory. Okay, Uttarashada means the later victory. So later victory means it's a long lasting and a sustained victory. It's not something, you started something and you achieved 50% and after that you gave up. So Uttarashada is completeness. Because the divine deity is involved in this nakshatra, I have seen many charts, many people who have prominent Uttarashada. So they always had big battles in their life. So it could be to uphold dharma.
It's a battling star. First of all,
Yeah.
Uttarashada is one of the actually the most auspicious nakshatra for battles, fights, legal cases, because the animal that rules it is male mongoose. And especially people with prominent Rohini, I don't know, Rohini is ruled by snakes, right? The nakshatras which are ruled by snakes, an Uttarashada person can easily like defeat them, because it's a male mongoose. And also another thing, that it is also recommended not to get married or do anything harmonious on a Uttarashada nakshatra, because this nakshatra is auspicious for battles, fights, things like that. And it ensures victory, usually does, So Uttarashada is good for that.
Yeah. So there are many things, that come into my mind when it comes to talking about Uttarashada. Dr. Arjun Paisar and other famous astrologers also mentioned that this nakshatra is not a prominent nakshatra for samsara, for getting married.
Yeah.
So like most of the cases, these people they remain bachelors. Even though they get into marital relationship, it may break and they may come back to bachelorhood. The reason being, they are destined to conquer something which is eternal. It is not, material. Their life is not just about spouse, children, taking care of material goals. I have seen people, like who fought for dharma, who fought for saving
Uttarashada is just a fighting nakshatra, you know, it's just, they all, like people who are prominent Uttarashada nakshatra, they always have that fighting energy within them. It just brews inside them. So whether they get into a married life or whether they get into something more, you know, like different, they're always gonna have that energy of fighting, trying to win something, things like that. And that's why it's just the quality of nakshatra, you know, that makes them be like that.
Yeah, and I think the first pada of this Uttarashada, it's Vargottama. The first pada of Uttarashada is Vargottama as well as Pushkar Navamsa. So the downside of Uttarashada people is they possess high ego because it's ruled by sun and it's a fiery sign. Sagittarius is a fiery sign. They possess high ego. So people who have Uttarashada in Capricorn, Uttarashada pada 2, pada 3, so they're more balanced compared to.
They're more balanced, yeah. It's because they're an earthy sign, and when you want to put out a fire, our earth element comes into play. You know, you can put mitti or like soil on fire, or you can like douse the fire. You know, sometimes it works. So
Yeah. And sometimes it triggers in my mind. The Uttarashada Capricorn born people, either moon sign or ascendant, there is a fight, and what they're fighting is they're fighting with themselves. It looks like, because Saturn is a bitter enemy of Sun, and this nakshatra falls in Capricorn sign. So it never goes well. The Saturn and Sun energy, Saturn and Sun being bitter enemies to each other. So coming to Shravana. So Shravana nakshatra, this nakshatra is ruled by animal female monkey. Yes, these people are highly skilled, talented, intelligent, and this nakshatra's lakshya is artha, because it was written in Vedic text that the last pada of Uttarashada and the first pada of Shravana, they both constitute a special nakshatra called Abhijit nakshatra. So which is also for known for long lasting success in battles, and also it's a wealth nakshatra. Abhijit is a wealth promising nakshatra. So that's why you see this nakshatra's goal is Ardha. This nakshatra is ruled by Mahavishnu, the divine deity is Mahavishnu. So this nakshatra is about hearing capabilities. Now you talk about remedies.
So basically, Shravan, it's ruled by female monkey, I think, and it also means 3 footsteps or things like this symbolizes 3 footprints, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Shravana is hearing, basically. So the first thing I would say, this is for people who, because there are a lot of people watching it. So people who are Hindu or who follow Hinduism, they can do is like they can keep a brass Indra, like the Indra god. They can put a brass Indra, get a brass Indra. They can put it in the east. It somehow helps with the Shravana nakshatra, and also if they can, it's really recommended, like for Shravana nakshatra people, to go for a walk. Like if they want to, suppose a person is just confused with their life, right, and they need to get answers from their own subconscious mind, they need to walk. And the walk has to be, they can walk either 3 miles or 3 blocks, something
because
like that.
The symbol is 3 footsteps.
Yes, it has to be the 3 blocks or 3 miles. Okay, that's one. It has to be that. And then the person, whenever they take a walk, they do that for a few days. People with prominent Shravana nakshatra, they start getting answers to different questions that they're confused about, whether that's about their own life, career. They just get the answer. It just comes to their subconscious mind. It's just nothing. Is just an activation of the Shravana nakshatra that triggers the answers to come out. So yeah, these are the few things. And there is another thing that if like, you know, if a person, they want to, um, suppose they're listening to music or talking to anyone over the phone, so using headphones, or instead of reading a book, if they read an audio book, or if they use headphones, based on the planetary suppose Shravana is in a nakshatra that's ruled by certain planets, okay, so they could use that color of the headphones, they can use that headphone, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna align with that person's particular chart position where Shravana Nakshatra is sitting at, and it will help them understand it better, because it will just align it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
suppose you're listening to some mantra, or you're listening to a story. If you are listening to that on an audio or on a video wearing the headphones, where you're suppose you're Shravana Nakshatra, Shavana is ruled by moon, usually. It's ruled by moon. So, and also the placement where Shavana Nakshatra is sitting at, or the third lord where it's sitting at. There are a few combinations that they can follow. Using that color planet, and if you use that kind of colored headphones, what it's going to do is it's just going to align you, and it's going to
Yeah.
help you perceive the situation better, you know?
The
That's
exceptional strength of Shravana is their hearing capability. A person, who is sitting in, suppose I am a Shravana Nakshatra person. So I'm now right now talking to you. Okay, we are making a video together. I have the ability of hearing some unknown sounds, vibrations. So suppose something is happening, the next day.
which planet do you have in Shravana?
No, I don't have any planet. I'm just talking about the ability of Shravana Nakshatra.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
So they can hear some sounds, okay, that not usually all other human beings could hear. So if somebody is talking in a different room or a different house about them, these people can trace about it. They can hear that. And because Shravana is hearing, and without any effort, okay, all the information comes to them.
Yeah.
So they are connected in the way that people from different walks of life, that they interact with these people and give them a lot of information, because these are Shravana is known for hearing. So the downside of Shravana is they like gossiping, okay, and because this nakshatra falls in Saturn's house, sometimes they may speak lies also. They usually judge people.
That usually happens more when the lies, that those things happen even more when Rahu has connection with it sometimes. So yeah, but Shravana Nakshatra, they actually have really good hearing ability, but the remedies like walking, or like instead of reading a book, listening to an audio book, things like that, it actually helps Shravana people more.
And another bigger problem I see with Shravana is, suppose 20 people, okay, talking with you on various matters, okay. So how do you feel? How do you carry that information, data? Do you keep it with yourself, or you share with others? So if you share with others, do you manipulate that information, or you just pass it as is? That's the thing, biggest challenge with Shravana. They can't manage that information. They hear too big information. They gather too big information that they can't broadcast as is. Because every individual by birth, they possess some inherent qualities. They have, everybody has ego, everybody has, anger, everybody has that jealous and these kind of characteristics within them. So the biggest challenge with Shravana is, they can't bear too much information, but they keep on getting that.
I understand, because my third lord is in Shravana Nakshatra. So I can relate. And you're totally right when it comes to that. It totally makes sense.
All information comes to them without they, trying for it.
Exactly.
So what is happening at Nepal right now? From someone. So what is happening in the newspaper today? Highlights they come to know.
Always information just comes to me without any effort. That's one thing of Shravana Nakshatra, that you just don't want, you are not even in this scenario.
And they're like a news channel, a BBC. Okay, if you have a Shravana Nakshatra person, okay, you can just get your time going. You can just kill your time without any effort, because they have that much to talk about. They keep you busy. And at some point of time, you feel like, wow, I can't bear this information.
Yeah.
So that is about Shravana. So coming to Dhanishta. So this Dhanishta Nakshatra is ruled by Mars and the sign is ruled by Saturn. So Rahu co-lords this sign, Aquarius. So Aquarius is a natural 11th house, which is known for fulfillment of material desires. And giving back to society, social networking, big MNC companies, all billionaires, technology. So, and also therapists, doctors, all comes under the sign Aquarius, and this Dhanishta being a prominent nakshatra in that sign. So Dhanishta is for this sound, that vibration, what we say,
symphony.
A drum sound. Dhanishta is known for a drum sound. And people born in nakshatra, so all popular famous dancers actually, they have prominent Dhanishta. That is one thing. All musicians, they have prominent Dhanishta. So this nakshatra is ruled by female lion. So these people possess qualities like a lion. And this is a Tamoguna nakshatra. So Tamoguna means ignorance, which is Ketu. And the basically that's like the nature of this nakshatra is these people are best at they're good at service, and the goal of this nakshatra is dharma, and this is Rakshasa nakshatra. So they're very stubborn. They get into they often get into debates, fights, because it's ruled by Mars. Mars is for fights.
And yeah, I have seen, because I also sometimes read certain events, like when a certain events happen, suppose like a fighting, some sort of attack by criminals, terrorists. I have seen there was this Dhanishta Nakshatra present in that, somehow connected to it. Maybe it's because of it's in the sign of Aquarius and it's connected to Mars, so like attack in a social place or something like that. That's why maybe it was connected. But other than that, Dhanishta people, they are really good at reading pulses. Okay, so they know how to read pulses. So it could be Dhanishta sign. Sometimes it's also in the in a doctor's chart, in a nurse's chart, maybe a part of it, because Dhanishta people, they're really good at
famous musicians charts. They have prominent Dhanishta. At least they are good at one instrument, playing one instrument. Either it could be guitar, drum, whatever it is.
So the remedy for Dhanishta is like, first of all, two remedies. One is keeping a brass lion, in their house. So what it does is just activates the nakshatra, not like it just activates it. If you want to activate your Dhanishta nakshatra, and obviously there are certain things, other thing comes into play, like age activation. There are certain age activations for each nakshatra. There has to be an alignment of everything. And also the second remedy is keeping musical instruments. If you don't use it, just skip it. What does Dhanishta represent? It represents drum, it represents flute, right? Like basuri, or I don't know what you call it. If you don't play it, just keep it on the wall. Sometimes people hang musical instruments on the wall, so you can do that. So people with Dhanishta nakshatras, so that's
one interesting thing here is the Shravana and Dhanishta. Okay, the combination here is this female lion is playing the drum, and this male monkey is listening to that. So who is listening to that that music? That Shravana is enjoying that, because Shravana is speaker.
Yeah, is a listener.
Yeah. That and Dhanishta is instrument.
Instrument. Is the Dhanishta is the oh, okay, you're saying, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, this the male monkey is enjoying the music, produced by this female lion.
Hmm.
Imagine like,
Yeah.
the lion is, drums and this monkey is playing and enjoying that music,
Yeah.
listening the music.
Mm-hmm.
Now coming to Purvabhadra.
Oh, Shatavisha.
Sorry, Satabisha.
Yeah. So Shatavisha, there is not too much, like Shatavisha means
Let
like
me
a,
give overview of,
yeah.
let me just give overview of Satabisha. So the meaning of Satabisha means 100 medicines or 100 doctor. Satabisha. Bisha means doctor.
Okay.
And this is ruled by female horse, animal female horse. Horse is for desires and quickly reaching the destination, and horse is for what we say intelligence, and horse is for uh, what we say victory. And the symbol of Satabisha is a circle or a flower, and this is a sattva good and like the goal of this nakshatra is dharma, and he is a rakshasa gada nakshatra.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because this is ruled by demon Rahu.
Yeah. So Shatavisha is like, since it's ruled by Rahu and it has something to do with, I guess, Varuna. So what happens is, since the deity is Varuna, right? So the remedy for Shatavisha it isn't much. It's like people who, like who are into drinking or smoking. It's like, just keep your where you drink, where you smoke, like keep the place where you keep the bottles or the cigarettes, keep it in a separate place. You do not mix it with food elements or other things. That's for the Shatavisha people. You keep your soma, things related to soma. I don't know if you call it soma, or things related to like drinking, like pleasures, keep it separated
Because
in its
for addictions.
yeah, so keep it in its own space. Do not mix it with your, like regular food. Keep our own cupboard, or keep it in a separate place. Okay, so that's one thing. And there is not too much remedy for Shatabishak Nakshatra. One thing I can say this, like I have seen this in few people's chart, like people who have moon in Shatavisha, what happens is like, suppose moon is mom, suppose sun is in Shatavisha, so probably the dad will suffer or something that's related to, there will be a point when the dad may go through an illness where there are like many doctors, many nurses trying to recover him. This is a story, a prominent story that comes into people's life usually when Shatavisha is there, connected to particular planet. So that is Shatavisha.
So another remedy is Satabisha people, they are prone to addictions. Okay, and it's important for them to keep a tab on to have that self control. Because Rahu is for obsession, and Satabisha is also because Rahu is for cunning. Okay, so if these people are if they cultivate a life of being honest and with good deeds, so the Jupiter energy actually comes to play in their life and helps them so that the energy of this nakshatra is balanced.
And it's always good if Jupiter is aspecting the nakshatra, the planet in the Shatavisha nakshatra. It's also good for them to.
Because Jupiter is for contentment and Rahu is desire. So the Jupiter connection with Rahu is always important, is always good. So connection in the sense, it shouldn't be something like Gulchandal, like Jupiter sitting along with Rahu. The aspect of Jupiter on this nakshatra, or the aspect of Jupiter and Rahu basically is really helpful for these people.
Yeah. That.
So coming to Purvabhadra. So Purvabhadra, so it's a earlier auspicious one, like the Purvashada being earlier victory. So these people, this is a pair with this Dhanishta Nakshatra, because Dhanishta is female lion, this Purvabhadra is a male lion. Okay, and the symbol is double-faced man, and a stage and legs of God is represented by Purvabhadra. And this is Rajoguna Nakshatra, and the caste is Brahmin. The goal of this nakshatra is Ardha, because this is ruled by Jupiter, and this is a Manushya Nakshatra. So it's effort is key in their life, effort and initiation, because this is a Manushya Nakshatra.
Okay. So now the Purvabhadrapada remedy would be first of all donating to suppose Brahmins, gurus, and also orphans, homeless children. And for Purvabhadrapada people, if anyone comes and asks for donation, like one must not reject. They have to give whatever. Like it doesn't have to be they have to give a lot, but they have to give something. That's one
they
thing.
have to sacrifice. They have to sacrifice. They have to give back to society. They have to contribute to charity, because this is a combination of both Jupiter and Rahu. Because this sign is co-ruled by Rahu, this Aquarius, and the star is ruled by Jupiter.
And there is also another thing. I think it was suggested by Dr. Arjun Pai, or yeah. So it has something to do with people with Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. They should always sit on like sturdy chair. They should always sit on if they always have some sort of issues with chair. So they have to always watch out. If your chair is not if it's not wobbly, don't sit people with prominent Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Please don't sit on wobbly chairs. Just sit on strong, sturdy chair. It's somehow connected to them somehow. As Dr. Pai said. And also it's also important for Purva Bhadrapada people to to perform Havan puja, and if anyone dies in their family or something like that, they have to make sure every ritual, everything is performed well, because somehow if it's unfinished, it will come back and it will haunt them. Not haunt them, but it's like a karma, unfinished karma. It will just remain. They have to make sure that even also before entering a home, they have to make sure they're doing the right puja, ritual, rites. It's somehow connected to the Purvabhadra. Maybe it's because it's ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is somehow connected to all this. That could be one reason. But the donation, and also there was this other remedy of this is for people who follow Hinduism. You can keep a brass Durga at your home. That also helps. That's somehow connected to the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. And people who are watching this channel, who are from different religion, do the other things like donation.
Another thing, one important thing about Purvabhadra is the divine deity for Purvabhadra is Ahirbudhya. So he's one of the Rudras. So worshipping Rudra actually really blesses them with a lot of courage, success in their life. And Purvabhadra is also, because he is ruled by one of the Rudras, Ahirbudhya, the holy feet of God, it is known as. So these people, they always have this universal goals.
Yeah.
They contribute to development of universe. So yeah, go ahead. You were talking something.
So yeah, I mean that's it for Purva Bhadrapada. There's not much and this.
Yeah, Uttarabhadra. So Uttarabhadra is the later auspicious one. Purvabhadra is the earlier auspicious one. Uttarabhadra is the later auspicious one. The completeness comes with both the stars. This Uttarabhadra is ruled by animal, female cow. So that's why it's known as very gentle, sensual, and also it comes under water sign. It's a natural 12th house. So it is known for spiritual energy, occult, tantra, mysticism. And this nakshatra is ruled by Saturn, and the sign is ruled by Jupiter. So that's why whenever there is a combination of Jupiter and Saturn, it creates a lot of perplexity, confusion. uh, person's belief system. So
Hmm.
they end up with, they're not sure, what to believe, what to not. Sometimes, they question religion. So they basically say that, do really God exist in this world? So this kind of situation, some of the people actually they end up with, because of the nakshatra is ruled by Saturn and the sign is ruled by Jupiter. So
But
Jupiter for optimism, Saturn is.
but one thing, that people with prominent Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada, it is said that like they who have prominent planets in Purva and Uttara Bhadrapada, they in their past life they sacrifice themselves for a spiritual cause, or like they were in an occult, they were like so in some sort of occult, and they sacrifice themselves for some reason, due to, it's just a saying I have actually read in many, from many sources, that this is what it is. There could be, yeah, maybe that's why they try to justify that whether they should believe in God and things like that.
Mhm.
They
and
always
the divine
question.
and the divine deity for Uttarabhadra is Ajaikapada. So like this god was rarely mentioned in Vedic text. So so like Ajaikapada was known as one of the Rudras. So worshipping Rudras really helped them and suppress Saturn's pessimism and amplify Jupiter's optimism. So it is important that they need to worship Lord Shiva. So as per
Yeah.
their religion, whatever is the the highest of the supreme energy, they have to follow and they have to worship that. That will help them to become successful in their life.
So the remedy for Uttara Bhadrapada, the first one is keeping a Lakshmi in the home that is made from different metals. I think it's called Pach Tattva. It's really important. That number one. Number two, fish aquarium. The fish aquarium remedy is also for Revati. I'll get to that later after we start talking about
Yeah,
it. But
there is a reason why you mention Lakshmi as a remedy and fish as a remedy for this Uttarabhadra, because this is ruled by Meena Rasi. This nakshatra falls in Meena Rasi. Meena means fish. So in Vedic text, okay, the fish has always a signification for wealth and intellect. And also, like you said, Lakshmi is one of the remedies.
yeah,
Because Venus exalts here. Venus is Lakshmi. Venus is fortune, known as a wealth giver in astrology. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, so a Lakshmi that's made of like Pach Tandva, like I think Tandva is like metal, different sort of metals. So it is really important to keep up a Lakshmi statue on the west side of a home for the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. It really helps. And then fish aquarium, that also helps. That's also a Revati remedy, but we'll get to Revati now. So let's move on to Revati. So give a little bit introduction about Revati, Shiva.
Revati, yeah. So this Revati is ruled by Mercury, and it falls in the sign of Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter. Again, the Jupiter Mercury combination. So Jupiter is for divine intelligence, and Mercury is for mind, intellect, okay, and business. So these people basically, the animal, ruled by Revati is the female elephant. So these people, most of the prominent Revati people, they maintain very good health, stubborn health. And Revati is, the symbol for Revati is fish. And it's a Sattva Guna Nakshatra. They are very delicate, very soft, sensual. And the goal of the Nakshatra is moksha, is a category is Sudra, and it's a Devagana Nakshatra. Okay. And people who have like prominent Revati, so they are short in height, and they do like travel a lot. They basically travel across length and breadth of country, cities, continents. And they're spiritual. They make a lot of pilgrimages in their life, and they have a lot of skills, inherent knowledge about astrology and the Shastras. So that is
They're
what
very
Revati.
creative. Revathi people are very creative too. And
And
also,
Mercury has lot of to say for Revati people, because this is the sign where Mercury debilitates. So these people often, they get hurt in the relationships. Their relationships is never be smooth for Revati people, because Venus is for relationships that get exalted in this sign, and Mercury for intellect and communication, and that planet actually gets debilitated in this sign.
but isn't
So
this kind of, it isn't this kind of contradictory, because Revati is ruled by Mercury, but then Mercury gets debilitated.
yeah,
It's kind, yeah.
yeah, they
Anyway,
have more to do with communication. Okay, so if they make sure that they don't over communicate or under communicate, these people really have very good, successful, promising relationships.
yeah. And another thing, Revati people, they're very, whenever something is lost, if you ask a person with a prominent Revati to look for, they're the ones who always ends up finding the lost things. And then Revati people are usually wealthy, and Revati people suppose it's this is another remedy for Revati, like getting a fish tank, keeping it in the north of the home. And also another thing, that whenever moon is transiting Revati, if you lose something and if you really want to find it, you doing it in the trying to find it in a, like when moon transits Revati. Or another remedy for Revati would be feeding fishes, okay, because it's in the sign of Pisces, and somehow it's connected to fishes, pair of fish. So that too. And whenever people with prominent Revati nakshatra, they get a fish tank, keeping 2 pairs of goldfishes, it also helps as a remedy. And also feeding the fishes, that's for people with prominent Revati nakshatra, it also helps too. So yeah, these are the, and Revati people are very intelligent, very creative. Yeah.
Because this is ruled by Mercury, so Mercury is for business. These people, they possess highly business kind of thinking.
Hmm.
Uh, but which is opposite of what Jupiter thinks. Okay, so the Jupiter and Mercury, like, they have that conflict of perspectives, opinion, because Mercury is a trader and Jupiter is contentment and sacrification. So the problem with Revati is they need to basically maintain that balance. So their outlook is, they look like a businessman if you look at the traits of Revati, but still they need to maintain that spirituality, morals, and follow dharma, because this is ruled by the sign Jupiter. And also the Venus gets exalted here, so they are prone to all the pleasures and addictions. But still, again, they're back to spirituality, divine energy.
Also, Revati also rules drum, drum. So any sort of musical instrument, that also helps when it comes to. So you're always gonna see, like, people with prominent Revati nakshatra, they also like music a lot, like, rap sort of music, hip hop. They like it because I have seen it in people's chart. So yeah, so
it's really wonderful that we completed the 27 Nakshatra remedies.
Yeah, finally.
And I'm sure sabers and our aspirants, actually, they'll be delighted knowing the insights of these remedies, Nakshatra remedies. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Shiva, for inviting me.
You are welcome. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.